Alright, so we will go to the render settings. Common, we have to give it a name. We'll call it car anim, and now it is rendering to a particular path. Okay, so you can go to edit, change project image directory, and this is where you can change the path of where it is getting saved. Okay, so you should know once you are saving your images where they are saved. If you go to change project directory, you have to give the name of project and then the location of where it is. All right, so once I say new, give it a name, car anim, location, wherever the location you want. I put it in YouTube via rendering, then I'll create a new folder. Create a car anim folder. Okay, and accept it. So now it will be saved in car anim images. Image format, I will save it as a JPEG, quantity 100%, and file frame we want name number extension. So it's going to start car 0001 to 0010. So there are too many zeros, we'll just say 2 because we have less than 100 frames. So if you have more than 100 frames, maybe it should be 3, and if you have 1000, then make it 4. So it will render from 01 to 10. We don't want 10, we want 48. There should be 48 frames starting from frame number 1 to 48. Okay, what camera to render? We want to render camera 1. I'm rendering at HD 540, which is 960 by 540. I think that's good. We'll close this. Then we have to go to rendering tab, go to render and render sequence. Okay, so it's going to be camera 1, and then we'll just simply click on render sequence. Okay, and then it's going to render 48 frames. What we need to do is use video editing software. I'm using After Effects. I will show you how to put these things together in After Effects. So you can see it's taking about a minute to render this one frame. So 48 frames will take around 48 minutes. So in the meantime, I'll just use the previous animated sequence to put the movie together. Once this is saved, if you go to renderings, car anim, images, there are the images. So this one is the first image. Okay, and then the second one is now rendering. Each image is 260 kilobytes. Because the software is rendering, After Effects is taking a long time to open. Maybe we can cancel the rendering. The computer is going to use all its resources to render. So After Effects is going to take some time to open. So what I'll do is I'll let this animation finish and then I'll restart the video with we will actually do the new one for rendering, okay, in After Effects. Alright, so our all the frames are rendered. As you can see here, there are 48 frames. We'll open After Effects, and in the After Effects we are going to import the footage. So first things what we need to go to Preferences and General Preferences. If you go to Import Settings, we need to change this to 24 frames per second instead of 30. Okay, so if it says 30, you have to change it to 24. And then you can go to File, Import File. Only select the first one because it's going to import it as a sequence and it's going to import as a footage. So it considers this image sequence as a movie. So you can see it's 2 seconds long at 24 frames per second. You drag it onto the timeline, and if you go to composition settings, it will say it's 960 by 540. That is the image size. It's 24 frames per second and it's 2 seconds long. All right. Now all you have to do is go to File, Export, Add to Render Queue. Then here we have to decide where to save. So I'll go to Renderings, Karanyan, Movies, and don't worry about the AVI, just save the file. Here we will decide to make it a QuickTime movie. Go Format Options and select MPEG-4 compressor. Okay, and then you hit the render button and it's going to convert it into a movie. So if you go back to Karani Movies, the movie is done. Here you can click on the repeat button and you can see your animation playing. Okay, you can see that there are a lot of grains in your movie. To render these frames faster, if I click on this button, you can see that there are grains. And if you want a smoother image, you will have to increase the samples, and increasing the samples is going to take a longer time to render. So to do this quickly, I didn't really bother to smoothen out the image, which would take a longer time to render in Maya. Even now it's taking about a minute to render. So if you fix the samples, it can go up to 2 or 3 minutes, which might take a few hours to render the scene. Okay, so for our first animation this is okay, but in the future we will look at how to create a better quality image. Right, that's about it. We will work on some more modeling and animation tutorials, so stay tuned for those.